Sicily. Could you point it out on the map? If you can't, it's right here. An island being kicked by the Italian boot. Not to be confused with Corsica and Sardinia. If you're not familiar with history or geography, or you're an American, and the name Sicily rings a bell, it's probably because you've watched The Godfather. But seriously, you do realize that there's more to it than just mafia. By the way, its correct name is Corsica. Sicily is located in the very south of Italy, being the European capital of street food and mafia. Oh, right. It also has a very weird flag, totally not copied from the Isle of Man. The three legs represent three historical regions of the island, or valley. We'll come back to it later. Sicily, like any successful island, is full of mountains. The highest and the most famous point is Mount Etna, which is also the tallest active volcano in Europe. It has a population of 5 million residents, around the same as the country of Norway or the US state of South Carolina. The most important thing about Sicily, however, is its location. The island is located right in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea, splitting it into the west and the east. This location is ideal for trade, and it shaped the island for millennia. While there were settlements in more ancient times, the trade history of Sicily begins with the Sicanians, the first developed people of the island. There are also two other groups, Alanians and Sicels. Alanians were descended from Turkey and later assimilated with Greeks. Sicels came from Italy, spoke an Italic language, and retained a large amount of their culture throughout history. These were the three first groups to settle the island. They were all present at the beginning of the first millennium BC. This early civilization already traded and contacted other Mediterranean nations. Then we have to look eastwards, the two emerging nations of Greeks and Phoenicians. They came to realize that you don't have to stay in crowded homelands with tons of people and unfertile land, when you can sail to the New World, force out the natives, and live there yourself. This realization will definitely not be used by anybody else throughout history. Anyways, the Greeks and Phoenicians settled in Sicily, building the two most important cities in the history of the island, Palermo and Syracuse. When Phoenicia fell, its part of Sicily became a part of Carthage. Greek Sicily was somewhat of a reflection of ancient Greece itself, having the population almost larger than the Greece proper. It was divided into many city-states that were often rivaling each other, and the city-states of Greece. The most powerful of them was Syracuse. In 5th century BC, it had twice the population of Athens. Punic Sicily was a bit less influential in early history. However, it posed serious rivalry to the Greeks. Often, the two groups traded, but their history is full of conflict. The conflict went something like this. The Romans overtook the island in a series of infamously brutal wars known as the Punic Wars. Under Rome, Sicily was somewhat prosperous. It was so agriculturally rich that it was dubbed the Granary of Rome, and fed basically the entire western half of the empire. Early on, it was exploited by Romans, leading to increased corruption and multiple revolts. However, under imperial rule, everything seemed to calm down. Greek influence remained the dominant of the island. It was used as the last stronghold by Sextus Pompey, in a series of civil wars with the Roman Empire. The next one to take a piece from the pie were the Goths. These Goths. These Goths, Lombards, Ostrogoths, and Vandals, took over the island in the 5th century. However, a century later, the Byzantines reconquered it. It soon became the center of the waning Byzantine influence on Italy. At some point, the Byzantine emperor even wanted to move the capital to Syracuse, but his loyal subjects didn't like the idea and killed him. Soon, as it usually happens, the rulers were pushed out, this time by Arabs. Arab dynasty of Aghlabids, serving the greater Abbasid Caliphate, conquered and ruled Sicily from Tunisia. The rule of the Arabs brought the island even more prosperity than it had before. As hard as it is for many Europeans and Americans to understand it today, Islam was one of the most tolerant religions towards the other religions of its time. It only imposed severe taxes and humiliating laws on the religious minorities. Amateurs. Arab civilization at this point was far more advanced than any Christian civilization. They brought a lot of different technology unseen by many Europeans, such as Arabic numbers, superb irrigation system, and much, much more. More importantly, population rose to a very high mark, with Palermo being one of the most populous cities in Europe. Although Muslims controlled Sicily for quite some time, Arabic never became the dominant language, and Islam never became the dominant religion. However, it had a very large impact on Sicily. Also, so many powers had laid their hands on the precious island so that its people had already become polyglots, and there were various communities speaking different languages. Then Arabs ruled Sicily for the next 10 centuries peacefully until it became incorporated into modern Italy. Okay, I'm messing with you. Actually, it was reconquered 2 centuries later. The Normans were the next to invade the island. Who are the Normans? Well, I have two answers. One is cool and the other one is meh. On one hand, the Normans were the Vikings. But in fact, they were just French. Wait, their leader's nickname was William Iron-Arm. But in all seriousness, Normans were awesome. Their conquest of Italy began with the Lombard Revolution in Byzantine Calabria. Soon, the Lombards were like, maybe it's not the best idea. I think I'll just go and beat up Venice. And the Normans got all the cool stuff, including Sicily. The conquerors retained a large amount of Arabic technology and government institutions, far more advanced than those in Europe of the time. Also, the Normans had the support of the Pope, who wanted to remove the Orthodox Christians from the region. It is this time that is widely considered the golden age of Sicily. The island peaked in cultural diversity, economic, and political power. The ruling family then married into an influential German family, making it basically a part of the Holy Roman Empire, Germany at the time. Under Frederick II, Palermo basically became the capital of Germany. Yeah, that's right, the capital of Germany was in Sicily. Frederick also constructed one of Europe's first universities in Naples. He also made Sicily more European, removing large parts of Greek and Arab influence. Under Frederick's rule, the church became predominantly Latin. However, as cool as the German and Viking rule over Sicily might be, they did the largest mistake a medieval ruler might make. They pissed off the Pope. This resulted to a new conqueror moving over the islands. The sons of Frederick, Manfred and Conradin, were unlucky enough to have a war declared on them by the Anjou dynasty of France, the same dynasty that took over England a century ago. After a series of small wars, the ruler of Sicily was Charlie, and well, let's just say he wasn't the best of rulers. Charles was the person to turn beautiful, tolerant kingdom with complicated and intricate culture into a weak puppet nation. At the time, two groups emerged in Sicily: Guelphs, the supporters of the Pope and the Angevin rule, as opposed to the Ghibellines, supporters of the German rule and the Holy Roman Empire. Soon, the rudeness of Charles became enormously disturbing, so one day, "Hey Charlie, do you know what year this is?" "Yeah, 1282. "Why are you asking? What day is it?" "It's Easter." "What's wrong?"